What's up, weirdos? There's a new main character on TikTok, just like cancellation and everybody hating them. But this one is a little bit different because it's not purely black and white. With the Andrew Tate, you can just hate him because of everything he stands for and says and does and traffics. But sometimes, like with the history wizard who we're talking about today, it's somebody who, by all accounts, should be okay person with like okay opinion. He's not like some alt-right troll who posts a bunch of NAZI type stuff. He's not on the surface like anti-Black Lives Matter, anti-LGBTQ. He's not that. In fact, he's like pro a lot of the culture things that make up the left. So why is it that all the alt-right trolls and the left have now like turned on him and hate him? Let's start out by looking at some of the videos that got him hate from the alt-right side. So he gained his 400,000 followers by posting videos basically like exposing alt-right dog whistles. Like he would come out and talk about a specific thing and how a lot of people who are NAZIs, how they co-opt those things and use them to signal to each other that they are NAZIs, but in a way that has like plausible deniability and doesn't fully expose them. Now, unfortunately, he privated his account because of the enormous amount of hate that he started to receive. But this right here is a perfect example of the type of person that he is and what he says.
This comment reads, I feel like this answer has become more complicated since its acceptance into Twitch culture, no longer exclusively used by 4chan. No. The answer to the question, is Pepe the Frog a dog whistle, has not become more complicated. Because that is, as I have said so many times over the course of this playlist, the fucking point of dog whistles.
What we're getting right here is somebody who really thinks that he's right and is arrogant and kind of off-putting. If you don't agree with him fully on everything he's saying, you can see how from the outside you would just hate this guy. It has that classic like self-righteous,
I'm better than you and you're a bad person if you disagree with me.
But it's also this thing of he is so online. He's talking about Pepe the Frog. To an extent, it is a dog whistle. But the way that he talks about it, the way he approaches these things, makes it so inaccessible to people who are just learning about it for the first time. If you don't already know about it in this context, then you're gonna be seeing this like, oh, he's calling me an idiot? I'm not listening to this jackass. Because like, you know, the point of a dog whistle is that it's not supposed to be fully known. But we'll see in a lot of his videos, he has this vibe of, if you have like posted anything with a Pepe the Frog, you are an NAZI. Like that level of black and white, you're wrong, I'm right, we're better, you're an NAZI. And this is what happens when you live on like Twitter and TikTok, is that, you know, you're in this bubble. Because outside of critically online spaces, I've seen Pepe the Frog memes where it's like Pepe, but he looks like Patrick Mahomes. And the joke is, oh, Pepe is the meme frog and Patrick Mahomes sounds like Kermit the Frog.
By the way, that's 2 Super Bowls and we're just gonna keep winning them and it's Patrick Mahomes.
I do a great Patrick Mahomes impression, but that's not important and I don't think anybody cares. Let's keep watching some more of this video just to get like a feeling of his tone.
Because that is, as I have said so many times over the course of this playlist, the fucking point of dog whistles. They look like other things.
And the person that he's talking to with that tone is somebody who is a follower of his. Somebody who's saying, oh, but you know, the Pepe image has also been, you know, really accepted by Twitch communities where it's not just in these 4chan, alt-right, NAZI, look at like spaces on. It's kind of like back to mainstream how it started before it got co-opted. So it's probably more complicated. And then he goes and responds to them like that, like, I've said it so many fucking times, that's the point. Idiot. It's like, okay, yeah, the person right here is just saying that not everybody who uses it probably does it knowingly. And because it's not a literal hate symbol, it's not swastika, people who aren't using it for that intention, who don't know about it, shouldn't be hated to the level of people who are doing it intentionally, knowing what they're doing. And then he takes that tone with them. This is what happens when you start to gain a following online, posting about socially conscious ideas. You start to like completely get this self-righteous view. And listen, let me just say right here, I have personal experience with this of like, I gained a lot of followers on TikTok posting rants in my car where I'm talking about how misogyny is stupid, how like right-wing debate culture is stupid, like all sorts of videos that really built my following. I started to realize I'm making fun of misogynists and stuff. There comes a point where it starts to be more like self-righteous rather than I'm making fun of these people. And it feels like he's firmly in that camp of feeling like he is better than the people that he's talking to and self-righteous to a degree that is very off-putting. But this video, you know, didn't receive a lot of hate. This kind of built his following for people who are interested in this type of content, which is fine. A lot of people that probably follow me also, I assume, followed him before all this stuff happened. And you know, he's not, I don't want to say, we're gonna get into stuff. I don't want to be too light on him, but I also don't want to come down too hard on him for this part, because this is the stuff that a lot of like leftists would be fine.
Because yes, his tone is, I'm better than you, and if you don't know this, you're an idiot, and I've said this so many times and you're an idiot.
But at the end of the day, he is talking about something that is true. However, this is one video and he has posted dozens of videos talking about different dog whistles. And that is when the hate started to really come from the alt-right crowd. So now this is a video that's like a response to him, and it got uploaded by what seems to be an alt-right troll. But I will say, you can see where he went wrong in this video. You can very clearly see his problem. So let's just watch it chunk by chunk.
Chunk by chunk, chunky cheese chunk, chunk.
Sorry, this video is a little bit more serious. I'm not making as many silly little jokes. So before we get into this one, little ocarina break.
Today we're going to talk about things that aren't necessarily dog whistles, but are pretty big red flags and will make me instantly suspicious if I see them in anyone's profile. Number 1, anyone with a Patrick Bateman profile pic.
Right there, you can see what this video is. He talks about a red flag, and then this guy is gonna go make a profile picture incorporating all these red flags. But he's talking about dog whistles and red flags for bad people. And the first thing he says is Patrick Bateman profile picture, which I could have told him before he made this video, don't say that, it's just gonna get you a lot of shit. There is that toxic masculinity, Patrick Bateman profile picture type of crowd. But there is also like a whole meme world of Patrick Bateman and American Psycho that I know because I see pansexual women posting them on their Instagram story. My association with Patrick Bateman and American Psycho is definitely pansexual, beautiful women on my Instagram stories. But I do know that there is that whole toxic masculinity, alpha bro type crowd. Because I'll go to the comment sections of these videos and it's about 50-50. 50% beautiful pansexual women and then 50% just dudes named Connor going like this in their profile picture with nothing to show for it. To be honest, I like a Patrick Bateman meme. I like the headphones on, just walking while listening to Lana Del Rey with a caption that says, "Me when a woman tries to say hi." And that crowd of people, the non-alt-right people, the pansexual women who are seeing him say, "Oh, that's an alt-right dog whistle 100%. Every time that's an alt-right dog whistle." What about the lesbians in Bolivia who love those memes? Come on, bro.
If your profile picture has those ridiculous laser eyes in it,
So yeah, that's the vibe of it. He's just adding all the stuff. But the thing is, laser eyes in the profile picture is another thing. I know he's talking about dog whistles, but it's coming from a place of like, this is a bad thing. When like, what about all the profile pictures I see of Doja Cat with red laser eyes? And in my mind, I thought red laser eyes just means evil. Like, oh, this person's evil. Like putting red laser eyes on an O.J. Simpson doesn't mean I think O.J. Simpson is so cool. He's got red laser eyes. I think that means he's evil. Or like, you know, if you're talking about somebody who believes that they are the reincarnation of Adolf, I think putting laser eyes on them and Adolf, I thought that means they're evil. Even all that being said, I know it feels like I'm criticizing him for stuff I probably shouldn't be criticizing him, but I'm just saying like his tone with sharing these things that aren't as black and white as he's self-righteously claiming they are. You go into the real world, it led him to build an audience that then quickly turned on him. If you're feeling like the things that I'm saying are a little bit like, oh, come on, he's right, you're wrong, Cooper. If you're feeling that way, then what I'm about to show you might be upsetting because he completely is gonna go against everything that I think you and I agree on. I just feel like if you say the things that he's saying with the tone that he's saying them to somebody in real life, not online, you're just not gonna really be able to live in the real world. If somebody shows you an NBA meme that has Shaquille O'Neal sitting next to Pepe, if your friend in real life who you know is a good person shows you a picture of Pepe the Frog, but he looks kind of like, and it's like frogs in, if you look at them and go, you're an NAZI,
And that's a fucking dog whistle, as I've been saying.
then you're quickly gonna have no friends. This is the type of person that can only really exist saying these things on Twitter and TikTok. So, all of this being said, let's go into the thing that's gonna make all of us not like him. And again, he's privated his account, so we're gonna be showing clips from people who are reacting.
The fact that the Israeli government is currently acting like a giant piece of shit and committing an ethnic cleansing against the Palestinian people does not change the basic fact that Jewish people are indigenous to the country of Israel.
So yeah, he's coming online looking exhausted that he's had to explain this to you imbeciles time and time again. Yes, the Israeli government is committing an ethnic cleansing. Sorry, but this video isn't gonna be me breaking down the Israel-Palestine conflict. I don't think that you really want the take of the MILF Manor guy. But what I am gonna say is that on the leftist side, it's pretty cut and dry that people are pro-freeing Palestine because of all the ethnic cleansing.
Oh, but both sides.
Please. The point is, he's coming online and saying a very anti-leftist thing to his audience that he's built by saying Patrick Bateman is a NAZI dog whistle. So the people who see those dog whistle videos and are like, this person who's very self-righteous and talking about things that are shitting on the alt-right, but also very self-righteous and condescending, I'm gonna follow him. And then you see him come out and say, yeah, the Israeli government, it's kind of fine. That is when he got everybody to hate him. And the problem was, this is one video he made, and I'm not exaggerating. I watched 10 videos last night before he privated his account of him just talking about this and doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, quintupling down, sextupling down over and over and over again, and talking down to everybody who disagreed with, as if it's not at least gray. At the very least, you have to say that it's gray. And he's coming on here saying, yes, the Israeli government does ethnic cleansing, but that's not the kind of nuance that we're looking for here. The history wizard, that's his name. This is the type of topic that should really be listened to by people who it directly impacts and affects and have a deep personal knowledge with it. Not this guy who has said multiple times he's not Jewish and does not work for the Israeli government.
Indigenous to the country of Israel. That is their homeland, and they have been living in diaspora for thousands of years because of Roman aggression and anti-Semitism. Frankly, I don't know how you can consider yourself a leftist and not believe in land-back movements.
He thinks that you cannot be a leftist, think that Palestine should be free, and is saying something as if all leftists should agree with him. Of course, with his masterful intellect. When really, that's not the popular take on the left side. His opinion that he keeps pushing over and over again is that the Jewish people are indigenous to that area and deserve it and should have like a big chunk of the land dedicated to them. Which is interesting, saying that the Jewish people are exclusively indigenous to the Palestinian land and not the Palestinian people being indigenous to the Palestinian land. And listen, again, you don't want the guy who made 8 videos about MILF Manor's opinion on this, because it's not going to be as educated and nuanced. But what I do know is that he is going completely against the people that he has built his audience off of.
Hey there, everybody. Let's talk about Free Palestine as an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Before we get...
I'm AI with the...
Because he's private now, so all the videos I get are these like stitches. Him as a soy Wojak. Oh my god, soy Wojak wizard. Can't handle this. He's also probably posted like 20 videos about how Wojaks are a dog whistle for the alt-right. I think is as valid as the Patrick Bateman thing. So he said, let's talk about Free Palestine as an anti-Semitic dog whistle. So if you didn't understand the point that I was making with the previous dog whistle ones that are generally perceived to be as true, and you know, I would still say, you know, the overarching point on those ones is fine. But now I'm hoping that you're disagreeing with him right now. And you can see how the people who don't agree with him feel when he talks to them about this.
Alright guys, I'm gonna sit in my grandmother's cabinet and talk to you about how Free Palestine is an anti-Semitic dog whistle.
Like, the point that he goes on to make is that anything that the alt-right and the NAZIs can co-opt, they will co-opt. But the problem with that is that, shut up. Oh, look right here. A very valid critique of the Israeli government. Is this an anti-Semitic dog whistle? Gus thinks so. Hey, I think that the Israeli government should stop an ethnic cleansing. He didn't bark, I guess it's not a dog whistle. Is it coming together, the point that I'm making, where it's like, just because something can be used for bad doesn't mean that you can go online and say self-righteously, it's an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Yeah. You can make a genuine critique of something without being like,
oh, a bad person would also make that critique just to make them look bad. So everybody who says that's bad, yes.
If I go into these comments and it's a bunch of people arguing about Israel and Palestine, that's not the point that we're making. Please go like find primary sources for this stuff. I'm not a primary source. I'm the MILF Manor guy, please. I'm just saying that the videos about dog whistles that the alt-right hates, and then the videos that the leftists hate about dog whistles, and then the videos about dog whistles that the leftists hates, like, it's just all coming together to make people hate him and his self-righteous attitude. If you're shitting on Patrick Bateman, a lot of people aren't gonna like you. And then if you're shitting on Free Palestine, the other half of these people also aren't gonna like you. So now nobody likes you. Which leads us to the most insane part of this video. I love my videos because they always have a twist.
Something about me, this beast, is I'll put a twist in my videos.
Because as he was getting all of this criticism from everybody, somebody commented something, and then he replied to that comment with potentially the worst response I've ever seen on the internet ever. The most out of touch and not thinking through what you're saying video I've ever seen. They commented, does your wife's boyfriend enjoy these videos? Basically, a funny way to call him a cuck. It's funny. It's nothing to really blink at. I would just ignore that and move on because they're just calling you a cuck. Just move on. Who cares? Did he move on? No. This is going to be such a nice palate cleanser after ethnic cleansing topic that we were just talking about. Let's keep it positive in the comments. Weirdos, what's up? Oh, God.
This comment reads, does your wife's boyfriend enjoy these videos? Well, first of all, I don't have a wife, I have a spouse. They're non-binary and we don't use gendered language in this household. Their partner is also non-binary and doesn't use gendered language.
Not the dunk that he seems to think it is based on his tone. Not the dunk that he's thinking. Why would you go online and say this? I'm not gonna come on here and insult a polyamorous relationship. What I am gonna say is, you having this tone to a comment where somebody calls you a cuck? Don't say this!
Hey, what, is your wife's boyfriend like these Zionist videos? Actually, it's not my wife. They're non-binary, and her partner loves these videos.
He's talking to you like he's got you cornered at some Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card shop. I've seen so many of these guys when I used to play trading card games. When I was in Magic the Gathering playing there, I have seen this guy a million times.
Actually, I don't like Jace the Mind Sculptor. I'm more of a Chandra head myself, mainly because of her billowing breasts.
You don't talk like that. First of all, you don't talk like that. You want to talk like that because you think it makes you sound educated and cool. That's not an accent. That's the way somebody talks when they want people to think that they're cool and they're 35 years old. Grow up. This person said your wife's boyfriend. It's just a classic silly little joke that whatever. And then you come on here and say, yeah. Let's keep going.
Non-binary and doesn't use gendered language. So, yes, to answer your question, my spouse's partner does enjoy these videos. In fact, my spouse's partner and I are very good friends. I've known them longer than my spouse has.
This is so hard to watch. The way that he's living is totally fine. But he's responding to a cuck comment saying, the thing that you're calling me is true. But I don't see it that way and I accept it. No, you just don't make it into some like you are being socially conscious. Don't try to dunk on him for being like closed-minded. Because you shit on Patrick Bateman people. And I'm telling you, pansexual women are looking at this video and laughing at you. The pansexuals in Ecuador are looking at this and they're like, what is this tone?
My spouse's partner actually does like these. My spouse's partner lets me play on their Nintendo Switch all the time. When it's my spouse's partner's turn to sleep in the bed with my spouse, they let me play Nintendo Switch in the garage.
It's like, okay, the things you are saying, the lifestyle you are living is fine. I'm not judging that, that's fine. But you're talking about it with the tone that you've been using in these Zionist videos, anti-Patrick Bateman meme videos. You have literally created a world where everybody is going to dunk on this. And you're talking about it as if you are just better than everybody else. You're talking self-righteously about your spouse's partner to somebody who just called you a cuck. Do you not see how it looks? Polyamory is fine. It's not for me. I don't understand. I don't relate to the desire for that. It's fine for you and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't care. What I do care is seeing you be so stupid online. Like to post this and not know what's gonna happen. You talk all the time about context in your dog whistle videos. Did you not know that the context of you posting this video talking about your spouse's partner is in the context of everybody thinking you're a self-righteous douchebag? And then you self-righteously talk about your spouse's partner in response to a comment calling you a cuck, and you think that people aren't gonna, it's so hard to watch. Oh my God, let's keep going.
Me, my spouse's partner, and my spouse's partner's partner were all in Scotland not that long ago for a lovely vacation. It's called ethical non-monogamy. Or polyamory. Maybe you've heard of it.
Yes, it's totally fine. And I'm sure that I have plenty of like subscribers and followers who are in these types of relationships. And I love you and you're doing great. I love that. Just because it's not a desire of my own heart doesn't mean that I have to like disrespect it in your heart. What I'm saying though is the way he's talking about this is so cringe.
It's called ethical non-monogamy or polyamory. Maybe you've heard of it.
Yes, we have heard of it. You are also responding to a joking comment about your wife's boyfriend. You see that maybe coming out here and trying to make it a learning moment is gonna be cringy for you. Been there, bro. There is a steep learning curve on the internet. Think that you're saying something that's right and then no. No. And then sometimes you say something that is right, you get shit for it, and then you apologize for it, and then the apology is the thing that you actually get shit for because people are like, why would you apologize for that? And I don't want to get into that. Like, there's so many different ways to go about, you know, being online, and there's gonna be big stumbling blocks. I would say though that he hit so many right in a row that it's like, this is a colossal faceplant. I'm sure he's gonna come back, but I hope he comes back more humble, with a little bit more humility, with a little bit less,
Yes, my spouse's partner is actually totally into these videos. My spouse's partner lets me borrow their VR headset.
just come online next time with a little bit more, not I'm better than everyone else.
I don't know why you think this is an insult in any way, shape, or form.
You don't know why cuck is an insult? I don't think this person knows that you are in a ethical, non-monogamous, polyamorous relationship. I think they were just commenting on a video where you said Free Palestine is anti-Semitic. We're calling you a cuck, just to call you a cuck. And a cuck is an insult, and you gotta be able to understand how cuck is an insult. You gotta be able to understand that. We all look at Sneeko, he's a cuck. And it's not an insult to you, because you live that life with love and acceptance, and that's great. It's not a teaching moment to this person of, come on man, a cuck? That's literally wonderful. For you, a polyamorous relationship is fine. But for other people, it would make them want to die. And I'm pretty sure this person was commenting that just to call you a cuck because they didn't like you. Oh my god, I just have to like, this is the most chronically online, like concentrated dosage straight to my brain. I think at the end of the day, after all of this, I hesitate to say that he's a fine person. He's not a bad person. But I think this should be a lesson that when somebody comes online and they're sharing these types of beliefs with a self-righteous tone, where you can see even if you agree with them that they're being self-righteous and they think like they're holier than thou of the people they're talking to. Like in that first video we saw where somebody was commenting with an open mind, talking about how I think, you know, Pepe, maybe there's a little bit more gray area because of Twitch. And then him going,
I don't know how many times I have to say this, you idiot. That's the fucking point.
if somebody's talking like that to somebody who isn't being confrontational at all, I think it's a good lesson that no matter if you agree with their beliefs or not, maybe it's not good to follow the type of person who has that type of toxic hate. Because a lot of the time, that hate can get directed towards areas that are gray, and you're gonna start alienating people that you might actually be on the same side with if you talk to them in a civil manner. And then sometimes you'll be talking about something as if it's black and white. And then sometimes, you know, like him, talking about something as if it's black and white. And then, you know, like in his case, talking about Free Palestine being an anti-Semitic dog whistle as if it's such a black and white thing. And the side that he's saying is so obviously right and being self-righteous about it, being the thing that the leftists disagree with. Like at the very least, he's got to at least say that that's great. But he's not. He's going full on no. But he's not doing that. He's allowing no nuance. And he'll say he is, but I said that they're ethnically cleansing before I said that they should get whatever they want. I just think that we should be ingesting less content that is so hateful, regardless of if you agree with some of the things they're saying or not, because humans are fallible and he's gonna have opinions that you disagree with. And the self-righteous, holier than thou tone that he was taking against the people that you disagree with, when it starts to be directed at the things that you personally identify with, it has a whole different context and you start to see just who that person is. But don't be a fence sitter. Don't be a fence sitter. You gotta have opinion. Be nice. Like, be a good person. And you can tell by the way that he talks. In my opinion, he's not somebody that I would want to hang out with because I wouldn't think that he's a good person. Anyways, I love you very much. Please subscribe, weirdos.
In the comments, can we like talk about this video? I know at the beginning of the video, we were talking about like the alt-right dog whistles, and I was, you know, harping on him for his tone. And I'm sure people were like, oh, come on, dude, he's right. But the thing is, he's saying it black and white. It is a little bit gray, and his tone is completely splitting and like getting people who could agree with him off his side, and then talking about things that those people that he was being like on the side of, and then having that same tone but disagreeing with the people